It is the 14th of October 2017. This is round 2 of the B grade. You are seeing the beginning preparations for round 2, Diamond Creek versus Mernda. As we saw last week, Diamond Creek won that thrilling one-day game here at this very ground, and now 1 week later, this is round 2. What we are seeing here is an absolutely wonderful, gorgeous spring day. The temperature is in the low 20s. The weather forecast said it would only be 19, but it is a few degrees more than that. It is wonderfully sunny. The sky is a nice shade of blue, and there are enough clouds in the sky to really give this a wonderful, iconic image. This looks like an absolutely gorgeous day for cricket, and we are going to be broadcasting it here on Channel 8. This is Channel 8's broadcast of round 2 B grade, Diamond Creek versus Mernda. We're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we're going to look at the team setup.
In the wake of the storm, I was shaken, I was reborn. I got another shot to make it to the top today. I'm pulling up the sutures, I'm ready for the future. I'm ready for the slings and arrows and the fortunes lost. And there's a voice that's buried deep inside my head. As it stumbled out, it said, hey, I got another chance. I was living like a zombie, head in a trance. Hey, and we're slow, and life is all you know. And when it flashed before my eyes, I realized this is everything. Asleep in the daytime, parked in the main line. I was coasting by like I already died before. In the static of the city, drowning in pity. Like a lost goodbye, I was fading in the sky alone. Until the day that shook me right down to the core. And I pulled my body from the floor. Hey, I got another chance. I was living like a zombie, head in a trance. Hey, and we're slow, and life is all you know. And when it flashed before my eyes, I realized this is everything. before my eyes I realized this is everything.
Okay, so let's have a look at the team lineups. Diamond Creek have got one change from last round, so their side is almost unchanged except for the one. So the people who retain their place in the side are Andrew Taylor, Jared Williams, Callum Sexton, Dylan Bederk, Mitchell McDonald, Mitchell Elzink, Lachlan Devine, Joshua Merritt, Dale Wells, Jackson Elzink, and the one change, the player who was in the team was Jay Watson, who has been switched out for Bailey Robshaw. Now looking at the Mernda side, we've got a very different looking lineup. They have had to bring in 5 changes to their lineup from last week. So the players who retain their place in the side include the captain, Robert Corrigan, Damon Bainbridge, Darren McCurry, Jack Jerebeck, and Jaraman Marshall. Oh, and Rodney Pratt. The 5 changes. Out are Virtue, Stewart, Simmons, Mercury and Meek. And instead we've got Chris Smith, Cooper Perrin, Daniel Stott, Aaron Granow and Zach Davies. So Mernda side is much more changed than Diamond Creek's. Diamond Creek's is almost completely stable. Okay, so we're going to take a break now, and when we come back we're going to look at what these teams did last time they met.
The phantom limb she thought was him grew numbered by the hour. The distance aches and slowly makes her weak and overpowered. We all fall with a gasp and a choke, and the room was still spinning around. She collected her thoughts that were shrouded in frost, and she slowly returned to the ground. It's only a day, and she'll be on her way, and her loneliness sleeps like a lamb, and it won't rear its head until she's back in her bed, and she'll tell herself over again that I'm not alone. I'm lonely, but I'm not alone. I'm not on my own, but you're just a voice on the phone. And try as I may, I just can't find a way to make this house a home. Try as I may, I just can't find a way to make this house a home.
So, last season, in the 2016-17 season, Diamond Creek were able to get into the finals, get into 4th place, by getting 3 first innings victories and then the 2 outright victories, giving them enough points to jump over the likes of Bundoora and Bundoora United. And they were able to play off in the semi-final against Riverside. So, Diamond Creek were 4th out of the 8 teams last season. Mernda, on the other hand, were in 7th place. They got 4 outright victories and then the 1 draw, giving them 27 points. So they were just in front of the North Eltham Wanderers, who were in last place. Now, Diamond Creek and Mernda met each other twice last season. So they met each other twice last season. The first time they met was in round 9, which was in January 2017. Now, Mernda batted first in a one-day game. Mernda batted first and batted out their 40 overs, scoring 145 for 7, with Soyoim getting 45 and Corrigan getting 28. The best of the bowlers, Kingsley got 3 for 45 and Poon got 2 for 20. And in response, Diamond Creek fell 1 run short, making 144 for 9. Williams got 23, Puto got 33, Wells got 36, and in terms of the bowling, Granau got 2 for 27 and Baker got 2 for 37. So Diamond Creek falling just agonisingly short in that run chase. Obviously they were really going for it because they ended up being 9 wickets down, so they must have been having a real dash at going for this win. And then they met each other again in round 14, which was in the late February 2017. This time it was a 2-day game. Diamond Creek batted first and ended up their 80 overs scoring 7 for 269, with Benny scoring 152. Shallard also contributed with 41, and Luff got 29. For the Mernda bowlers, 3 for 39 by Corrigan was the only multiple wicket taker. And in response to that mammoth total, Mernda were only able to bat out their 80 overs and score 161. Corrigan was the top scorer with 49, Smith made 38 not out, and Simmons made 23 not out. Only one multiple wicket taker for Diamond Creek, which was Saul, who took 3 for 12. So, there you have it. 1-1 in terms of what happened when they last met. Even though Diamond Creek ended up with more wins and ended up higher on the ladder, they did not get up on Mernda in that 1-day game, so it was 1-1 in terms of what happened last season. So now it's time to take another break, and when we come back, we're approaching the start of this match.
Well, this country's in the pits, and I really should admit that I feel it's time to do something about it. Our democracy is splintered, sold out to the highest bidder, and I only see a single way around it. Let's stop being so attendant and declare our independence and create a nation where we're in control. We can find a little island and we'll climb up to the highlands and we'll paint a flag and hoist it from a pole. Well, it's sounding pretty sweet, but it's a little incomplete. There'd be nothing there to eat but weeds and ants. We could bring along some friends and they could do the odds and ends and start a farm so we could live off of the land. We need a place to stay so we could find a way to pay to hire an architect and builders to construct it. I suppose they need to buy some rudimentary supplies. They could use my credit card and just deduct it. Its limit, so we need to find some funding from our friends. We'll need to form an axis if the motherland attacks us, so we better start an army to defend. We'd be careful on the spending, we'd have banks to do the lending, we'd stay away from selfishness and greed. But I think our little nation's gonna need some light taxation if we wanna pay for everything we need. Like schools and banks and shopping malls, fighter doctors, cops, and donut shops, water, gas, and sewer lines, superhighway traffic signs, museums, parks, aquariums, zoos, and planetariums. I might need to think this through, 'cause there's a lot of things to do just to get this little nation on the map. And I'm not sure I would make it. Yeah, this emperor is naked, and I'm tired, and I'm ready for a nap. Well, maybe I should stay at home and fix the problems on this road and spread out to the neighborhoods, make a change and do some good. We've only got so many years to make our mark and disappear and enjoy the parks, aquariums, zoos, and planetariums.
You're watching the Channel 8 broadcast of round 2 of B grade Diamond Creek versus Mernda. We are approaching 12:30 now. The two teams have arrived at the ground and are currently going through their pre-game stretches. So it won't be long before we get the toss, and then we'll see what is going to happen this game. The umpire is here. The stumps have been situated into place on the pitch, so that part is taken care of, and it looks like there's going to be some catches being hit over here. Now, unfortunately, both these teams are wearing red caps, which will mean it is going to be a little bit more difficult to tell the two teams apart, other than, of course, the difference between which change rooms they use and what the scoreboard says. But at a moment's glance, you won't be able to tell the difference, so you'll just have to pay a bit more attention. As soon as we have some news for you on what's going to be happening in this match, we'll let you know. But until then, this is Channel 8, 24-hour sports network. I'm Chukka Wilson. I'm afraid I'm going to be flying solo today because Haydos is not here. Haydos has been called up for other duties in terms of the network of Channel 8 sports production, and so I am going to be commentating this game by myself, but that's okay. I'm perfectly capable of doing that. And you see one of the teams is over there doing their stretches, and the other team is going into the nets. Okay, so it's time to take a break. This is the 24-hour sports network of Channel 8. I'm Chukka Wilson. This is round 2 of B grade, Diamond Creek versus Mernda. When we come back from this break, it'll be time to start the match.
Take this pill, my dear. It will keep you sharp and clear. The side effects won't last too long. It's stranger than it seems in your most peculiar dreams. Tuck the northern star in a candy jar and save it for a rainy day. Shadows in the moonlight, always coming, always going, while your cup is overflowing. And shadows in the moonlight, it's just a matter of perspective. It's all relative, subjective, it's alive. Stand up straight and tall, keep your back against the wall. Remember what they said to you. A stranger in a crowd, a halo on a cloud. It's lost to you but never really went away. Muffled speech is out of reach, but truth has got a way of breaking through. Shadows in the moonlight, always coming, always going, while your cup is overflowing. And shadows in the moonlight, it's just a matter of perspective. It's all relative, subjective, it's alive. Take these words, my dear, as they echo in your ears. It's closer than you think. Shadows in the moonlight, always coming, always going, while your cup is overflowing. And shadows in the moonlight, it's just a matter of perspective. It's all relative, subjective. And shadows in the moonlight, always coming, always going, while your cup is overflowing. And shadows in the moonlight, it's just a matter of perspective. It's all relative, subjective, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
This is the Channel 8 24-hour sports network broadcast of the B grade round 2 game between Diamond Creek and Mernda. This is once again at Mungrook Oval. This is once again a one-day game, and this once again is in spring of 2017. Now, the ground has improved somewhat in the last week. It's still very groggy and patchy, and there will be some slow areas where the grass is a bit thicker, but I'd have to say that the grass is looking quite shorter than, you know, reasonably shorter than what we saw last week. It's a bit easier for the ball to roll through. And the other thing is that we haven't had any rain in the last week, so whatever moisture was underneath the ground has long since been dried up, and so all indications are that this should be a faster game than what we saw last week. There's no reason why a shot through the covers shouldn't be able to evade the infielders. They couldn't chase it down, and then there would be a lot more maybe boundaries, or at least threes where there used to be twos, and twos where there used to be ones. So we might yet see a higher scoring game. It won't be that much higher, because this ground is essentially the same one as we saw last week, and what happened last week, you'd have to think that the Riversidians failed to score enough runs to really give the Diamond Creekers chase that would really test them. And so you would think that a score, well, Riverside scored something in the low 40s, but then their score was upgraded into the high 40s. So you'd have to think that last week the par score would have had to have been 160, 4 runs and over. That would have been a much more competitive and difficult target for Diamond Creek to chase than what they ended up chasing, which was just 150. And so when you think about this ground today, it's going to be a little bit faster, but not that much. I wouldn't say that this is a 170 pitch, certainly not, but I would say that 160 has to be the par score that you have to think about trying to reach here. This ground, like what we saw last week, it's pretty easy to defend a huge score, but it is very difficult to defend a low score because there's so wide square of the wicket. It means that hitting the ball into that area means that you're guaranteed twos if you're able to hit the gaps. So if you're just chasing a score where twos are enough to actually keep in touch with the required run rate, then you're going to really enjoy chasing here. But on the other hand, chasing where you have to score boundaries is almost impossible because square of the wicket is so wide. It means that if the bowling is short and you just cannot get underneath it to launch a drive shot, then you are going to be finding it very difficult to chase. So that would be the difference. The difference between a serious run chase and a modest run chase will determine how you approach it, both in terms of the fielding team being defensive and the batting team being aggressive. So both of the teams have finished their pre-match warm-ups. One team has gotten into their whites and the other team has not. The umpire is chatting away with a couple of the players, and so play is not yet underway, and we're not seeing the beginning of the last minute training of the fielding team just before they go out onto the field. And I can't see that the batsmen are just getting their pads on right now. So play isn't that far, but it's still a little while underway. So we're going to take another break. This is the Channel 8 24-hour Sports Network. We're here at the Mungrook Oval to watch round 2 of the B grade, Diamond Creek versus Mernda.
The streets of Salem were a terrifying sight. The witches dancing with the demons in the night. Their evil minions watch the town while it's in bed. Wish 'em dead, wish 'em dead, wish 'em dead. Old Reverend Paris knew that something was amiss. He felt the evil from a spiritual abyss. He knew the time had come to purify the town. Hunt 'em down, hunt 'em down, hunt 'em down. time was wasted in assembling a squad. This pitchfork army on a mission sent from God. No witch was saved from Reverend Paris's brigade. Their crusade, their crusade, their crusade. Call the magistrate and don't you wait another minute, cause this town is going to hell if we don't put away the sinning. And we got no time to let a jury have their turn. Let 'em burn, let 'em burn, let 'em burn. The damned were crammed into a carriage on the square. Their faces battered and their bodies all were bare. The Reverend led them to an isolated hill. Time to kill, time to kill, time to kill. One by one their necks were snapped beneath the cedar tree. The spirits vanished and the demons all were free. They dug a hole to hold the devilish remains. They were slain, they were slain, they were slain. The town was safe from all those wicked dissidents. They could continue with their life of innocence, dispensing justice from a higher power. They built a church atop the spirits and the bones. Their moans were heard as they were laying down the stones. But the witches got revenge beneath that steeple bell. They cast a spell, sent the Reverend to hell.
And welcome back. You're watching the Channel 8 24-hour sports network broadcast of this B-grade clash between Diamond Creek and Mernda. As you can see now, the players are just walking on to the wicket. The fielding team are getting themselves ready, and the batting team are just approaching the wicket now. So this is a 40 over clash, just like what we saw last week. So the game will be finished by the end of the day, and we'll have a winner and we'll have a loser. Considering how absolutely amazing and stunning this ground currently looks, considering the weather, there is absolutely no way that we're not going to get a result one way or the other. Okay, so the fielding team are coming out onto the middle, and they'll be assigning their fielders momentarily. The day is just looking like it's going to be a wonderful day for cricket. The weather is actually getting warmer now. It feels like it's in the mid-20s when it was in the low 20s just a short while ago. So now let's have a look at what's happening here. The fielding Got our opening bowler here. So the umpire